okay, and I'm awake. After taking all that vitamin D, I was sleeping. And that's how I got into vitamin D, was through my sleep restoration program. I treat insomnia and sleep apnea. And if you're interested in either of those subjects, you can go to one of my other videos and get more information. Now, I want to make this clear, this is not medical advice. This is just information that I'm sharing with you. We're going to continue on here. This is part 2 of my video, what happened to me after I took 100,000 international units of vitamin D. So I'm still completely fine, and I took that dose to make a point that there is no one-time toxic dose of vitamin D. In fact, there is a peer-reviewed study available on PubMed, which is the medical research website, where they gave people 300,000 international units all at once with absolutely no harm. If you are concerned about your immune system and the coronavirus, don't bother getting a test. If you haven't been supplementing vitamin D, just start right away. There's really very, very few issues with this, especially if you take it with the right accompanying vitamins, which is vitamin K2 and magnesium. You will always want to take vitamin K2 with vitamin D because vitamin D makes you absorb calcium. Vitamin K2 manages the calcium. I call them soulmates, soul for sun. Now, if you don't have vitamin K2, that's where the toxic part comes in with calcification of your body. But don't be nervous about this. It's very uncommon, but if you're taking K2, that won't happen. K2 will manage and put the calcium into your teeth and bones and keep it out of your aorta, your blood vessels, and your skin. I also recommend magnesium, and any type of magnesium is fine, about 400 to 500 milligrams. And that's my minimum requirement, D3, K2, and magnesium, because they go together. When it comes to taking vitamin D, it doesn't matter if you take it in the morning or the evening. It's probably best taken with some food, but I don't think it's all that important. And when it comes to vitamin D, just keep in mind, the information that I'm sharing isn't widely known because this isn't taught in medical school. Vitamin D in your body is very different than what doctors think. This is a currency in your body, and you have a level, and you want to raise that level up to a level of 50 or higher. Once you pass 40 nanograms per milliliter, that's when all of your body's systems, and especially the immune system, really kick in. So I want all of my patients to be too high at 50 rather than just trying to get to 40. The normal range of vitamin D is 30 to 100. I want my patients to be at 60 to 80 for my sleep restoration program. And in Canada, that's going to be 150 to 200 nanomoles. Just to make it more exciting, we have some different measurements, okay? The IU international units are the same everywhere in the world. Now, let me give you some examples. So what's a good loading dose? Well, a lot of times I'll tell my patients to take 20,000 IU for 2 weeks and then lower it down based on their body weight. In these days, with the coronavirus, I would say don't be too conservative. 40,000 international units of vitamin D sounds like a massive amount. It's 1 milligram. Okay, so 20,000 international units is 0.5 milligrams. And that's the amount that you could make naturally being out in the sun with your clothing off and no sunscreen. We'll get into safe sun exposure in a totally different video. Now, once you've raised your level to something that's going to be a little more evolutionary, 35, 40 or higher, then you're going to want a holding dose. And that's going to be based on your body weight. Now, some people can go too high very quickly, 1 out of every 100 people. So ultimately, in the long term, it's best to get a vitamin D test. Now, if you've not been taking vitamin D and you have not been suntanning without sunscreen, you're going to be low like everyone. So don't worry about a test right away. Start taking it immediately, and then you can order a test. There's a lot of great tests that you can order online and test in your own home. You don't have to go out of the house. Now, a good rule of thumb is that 1,000 international units of vitamin D is good per 25 pounds. So what that means is if you have a 50-pound child, 2,000 IU is a very conservative and good amount to give that child. If you are a 200-pound man, you're going to want to take 8,000 IU. Now, that's a good description of what you should be taking, but it's going to vary. As we come into summer, the casual sun exposure of you walking from your house to your car and wherever you're going, you're going to increase your vitamin D production. If you are out in the sun a lot, you're going to want to either skip your dose completely or start to lower your dose. This is a hormone that you should know what your level is at all times. This is something that you want to track most definitely. It's the most important reading in your biology. I never want my vitamin D level to go below 50, and there's a lot of studies to support that science. Aside from that, keep in mind that doctors don't learn about this in medical school, and this isn't information that's clearly and plainly available. I spent the last 5 years researching vitamin D to be able to present this information in a way that I hope you'll find useful. And a lot of people are talking about the coronavirus. Vitamin C is very important, there's no doubt. Vitamin C is a vitamin. It's a powerful antioxidant. It's very important in your mitochondria. Vitamin D is a hormone that regulates much of the mitochondria activity. Vitamin D is a hormone that regulates the immune system. So when you hear about people who are immunocompromised, those are the people with the lowest vitamin D. Now, as they have been vitamin D deficient for many years, that's when these different things start to kick in. Diabetes, sleep apnea, heart disease. These are all related to vitamin D in a very complex way. I look forward to sharing that information with you in my book, The Modern Epidemic. Thank you.